Alright, so how's it going, everyone? Angel Marquez here, back at it with another video. Well, yeah, Engine Reseal Part 2, 2ZZ Engine Reseal Part 2, I should say. In this video, I'm going to be doing the bottom end, so like the cradle and the oil pan. So in the first couple minutes or so, I'm just taking off the accessories like the headers, intake manifold, power steering pump, alternator, and all that, so I could start working on the engine. Man, ah, I didn't realize how big of a job it hit me when I had the motor apart. How big of a job this was. I was like, damn. And then the thoughts started going through my head like, what happens if this doesn't go there and that doesn't go there? Like, but you just gotta work through it. You gotta trust yourself. Because trusting yourself, you allow yourself to be confident and be able to do what you can do without having to without having a second thought behind it. Yeah, so the video, I thought it was gonna come out better, like the way it's filmed and everything like that, because right now camera is on my chest and I should have put it on my head just so I can make it more obvious to what I was doing, but I don't know why I didn't think of that into like later or into after. Even putting it on a tripod would have been nice so you could see what I'm actually doing and stuff like that. But yeah, well, everything goes a certain way. You learn how to do it, and next time I'll be better at filming, right? Because I know what's going to work and what's not going to work. Like there, it's not going to work. We'll see you the next time then. I have like so many plans for this car. Like you guys are going to have to wait and see what the future brings for this car. So many good plans, so many exciting things to come. It's like unreal. It's like, wow, you're going to do that? No way. But yeah, going to try my best, try to keep pumping content out on the car. Whatever I do, however I do it, and stuff like that. And try my best, Asking for advice, like I said, it's never a bad thing. It's a good thing because sometimes you aren't sure and you don't want to mess anything up. You can ask a friend that's more knowledgeable than you, and they'll lead you in the right way. So it'll save you a lot of time and headache too. Along with that, it's nice having a drawer to just have like random bolts and stuff like that. So, and just in case you need something, bam, you can find it in that drawer. Because you never know what you're actually going to need until you need it. So that's why I like to keep like random little stuff here and there, just to make sure I'm able to have something that I need when I need it, instead of not not having it and needing it. It just delays like what I want to try to get done by that much more type of deal. And yeah, um, the way at first I didn't use anything to clean it, like just pressure washing and calling it good. But then I used degreaser because I realized that thing was dirty. I'll tell you that much for sure. Yeah, you'll see it coming up in the next couple clips. I should that will be there. It's always nice putting like boats where like in like respected places. Like if you're taking off like a water pump, they have different length boats, and just being able to put them back in like around the same place that you took them out. So when you go to put it back in, all the bolts are in the right place. They have the right length to them as well. Because the worst thing is when you're trying to put on a boat accessory or something like that, and the bolts are like all different lengths, and you put one somewhere and it's too long, you put another one somewhere it's too short, and it's just a hassle, being completely honest. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, let me just pressure wash it and call it good. You see a little bit come off and shoom, and then it was like, oh, some places are still dirty and stuff like that. But next time when I do this, I'm going to paint the block. I don't know what color yet. I'm either going to do black or silver, just to see, just so it can be freshened up and nice. I also ran water through it to clean out any water, any old coolant that was in the block as well. Because during a refresh, might as well send it and go the extra couple of minutes to taste to do all of that. And yeah, different gaskets and stuff like that. I bought a Reseal kit from Toyota, and it was cheaper than buying all the gaskets by itself. I'll say that much for sure. For the next time when I redo this, I am going to try to upgrade the coil packs and put new solenoids in and make that thing run 110 times from better from the factory, so I could be able to run it a little harder and be able to do what I want to do without having to worry about some of the things that is going to happen. So yeah, as you can see, you got some degreaser this time. Degreased it. Get that pressure washer, just to make sure everything was clean, clean, real clean, so I wouldn't have to worry about anything. Got all my got my pants, my shirt, my shoes, got socks. Everything was wet. I had to take it off and stuff like that. And thankfully, I had some slides in the car because if not, I would have kept on working. But then my my manager, boss man, he was like, "No, no, you can't work with slides in here." So I had to stop for a bit, look, wait until my socks, my shoes dried, and then I could get back to it. But that's how it goes sometimes, right? You can't do everything you want to at the time you want to when something's happened. So you just gotta wait it out a bit, and then bam, come back and be able to go keep on going on type of deal. After that, I went to go get some food, and yeah, as you see, I flipped it over, taking off the oil pan. I got a upgraded oil pan for it, a Mimorsa or Morso oil pan, and yeah, you know, just make sure I don't starve it of oil. And thankfully, I I if I didn't do this at the time I did this, I would have blown up my engine most likely because the oil pickup too had a bunch of fibbage and stuff in it when I did the oil pan the other times. It's always kind of nerve wracking when you're taking apart an engine, like especially like wow, like what if? But you can't worry about the what ifs. You gotta trust your instincts and go with them. And yeah, just gotta keep on going because that's what's going to get you through all this. And as you can see, I'm picking away the debris and stuff for the oil pickup tube. Get some brake cleaner and some just a pick, yeah, pocket screwdriver type of deal to clean it out. And yeah, you know, I'm thankful I had this program too to help me look up like the directions and stuff like that to make sure when I like remove the the cradle that I could do do it in the right order and so I don't mess anything up type of deal. And I'll say one thing: those boats were on there real good. I'd have bust out the half inch for it. Nah, but like in the future, I want to get some better tools too. Just because I dislike asking people for their tools when I could go get my own tools and have to worry about that. So I'll probably go tool shopping for in a bit just to get some new tools that I'm missing, some basic tools because basic tools aren't too bad to have, and some specialty tools. So just so I could be self-efficient, self-surviving when there's no one around, and I could do everything myself without having to worry about the tools. Like, what if I don't have this tool? What if I have that tool? It's nice not having to worry about that type of thing when you're doing a big job like this, because that just takes up time and time that you really can't afford to lose, in my opinion. And as you can see, this that angle grinder, that ankle die grinder is really helpful because it just makes clean surfaces for like when you go to put fibbage and everything on there, like 10 times faster. Like you could just clean it off and whoop, you get some re-cleaner and bam, that thing's clean, ready to go, and all that stuff. Um, the rear cradle had some of the bolts that were stripped, so I used a time cert kit to clean it up and repair the threads, or repair and make new threads, I should say. And yeah, that's just how it goes, right? And it's a process. First, you got to drill out the old holes, make them bigger. Then you gotta tap it for. Then you gotta use the counter bit to make sure it sits flat. Then you gotta tap it just to make sure that you could go for the insert to go all the way. And then you have to put the insert in, and then you're done. You got some new threads, and it's ready to go. Yeah, it's it takes a while. I did all the drilling. I did everything for each hole at the same time. So in the first pass I drilled them all. Then the second one I counter bit them, counter tapped them, and the third one I tapped them, and the fourth one I put the time cert. Just to make it that much easier. Because after you do it once, it becomes like secondhand memory type of deal. You're like, yeah, that's what it does. That's how I do it and stuff like that. One thing I'm gonna do for this car is upgrade the motor mounts, or the torque mounts, I should say, most like, because I try to upgrade some, try to do my own polyurethane bushings and stuff like that, but it never worked out too well. They just kept on breaking and stuff like that and deteriorating over time. So I wasn't able to actually enjoy the car for a long period of time without having a wheel hop, or just just not being able to rip it. And that's one of the main things I wanted to do, is just be able to enjoy the car without wheel hopping off the line and just hooking and going. But yeah, if you know any company that makes motor mounts for my car, for the Matrix, Corolla, Suzuki ZGE, please let me know in the comments below. That would be much appreciated. Uh, I might try to do poly, some OEM mounts with some poly reinforcements on like the openings, and seeing how that goes. That might be a good idea because you have the rubber mounts. They're already the where the bolt goes through is already in the center and where it needs to be, and then you just reinforcing it. That's not too bad of an idea. I might try that and see how that goes, because they're not too bad to change out. I'll say that. And yeah, I'm test fitting the oil pan right now. So because some of the time circuits they were like a little too long for it, so it's hooked out. And then I'm just countersinking. My bad, countersinking where the bolts went into to make sure that it sit flat when the time came to put them in, to put the oil pan onto the actual cradle. All right, so it's a other day. Yeah. As you can see, I'm putting all the studs in for the oil pan because the oil pan came with its own stud and bolt kit, and I'm trying to figure out why it doesn't want to seal all the way. And then I started asking around, looking at the instructions and saying, "Oh yeah, it says you have to hit the windage tray to make it clear if you have the less common type of windage tray for the 2ZZ GE." And I tried to hit it and nothing was working. And in a bit, I, I took out the windage tray because the oil pan had its own and it was better than what was on its engine. As you can see, I cleaned up the taps on one of the holes and started getting it ready for the new one. My friend tried to take out the bolt that was snapped off in the bottom, but it didn't work. So I just put a bunch of fibbage on there and just hope for the best. I tightened everything down and let it sit overnight just to make sure everything was set and ready to go for the next day for when I put oil in it. If you like this video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one where I do the head gasket and yeah.